Since COVID-19 reached our city, I've been praising the incredible work of countless individuals who have stepped up to serve their city and their fellow Chicagoans. One of which, of course, is our own Reverend Yusef Jackson, Sr., who reached out a few weeks ago and connected us with the core team, which is led by actor and humanitarian Sean Penn. For years, Reverend Jackson has been working with Mr. Penn to bring emergency supplies to areas around the world facing urgent needs, such as the lower 9th Ward of New Orleans following the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. Most recently, CORE has been working to fight COVID-19 in Los Angeles and other parts of California. And they offered to come here to Chicago, which is what brings us here today. Thanks to Sean and his team at CORE, this site here in Belmont Cragen, as well as our site at Saucedo Elementary and Little Village, have already administered over 800 COVID tests since they opened last week.
Supporting existing institutions of public health, safety, and education, both in government and in community organizations, is the principal mission of CORE. We like to think of ourselves as a quick, unbureaucratic weapon in the arsenal of bureaucracies, and when we have a city like Chicago, where it's such a proactive mayor who has had the faith in us to participate, these are the kinds of partnerships that can be visible and therefore replicable, because it's not going to be just CORE or just World Central Kitchen or just Reverend Jackson and Yusef's organization that are going to be able to make the bigger dent in the nationwide issue. So one of our big missions is to do what we do and do it well in solidarity and partnership with these organizations.
Thank you, Mayor Lightfoot, again for your clear and competent leadership and clear communication during this crisis, and for allowing me to share some observations over the last week regarding this historic partnership among CORE, the Rainbow Push Coalition, and the City of Chicago. Our understanding of COVID-19 evolves, and the city continues to demonstrate the courage to accept input from the community and support from CORE. It continues to invest in this partnership responsibly by making available the incredibly talented and committed people from so many departments of city government, including health, aviation, police, fire, OEMC, streets and sand, CPS, water management, and that's just to name a few. And I want to thank personally Tamara, Sybil, and Candace for their partnership and teamwork. Chef Jose, thank you for your commitment to our city, not just to open up new restaurants with the Lombardo family and the Gibsons group, but to work with Vanessa and Doug Moore at 50/50 to heal with food and deliver meals to those in need. I look forward to expanding your relationship deeper into the neighborhoods of Chicago. Ann and Sean, thank you both. You've been on the front lines fighting to restore the dignity to those most vulnerable to economic and health disasters for many years. In our hemisphere, Haiti and the Bahamas, in our cities across the country in Navajo Nation for first responders, communities of color, and now in my hometown in neighborhoods where the disease has been stubborn and unrelenting, you expand your ministry. Over the last week, the Rainbow Push Coalition has delivered 7,500 prepared meals, along with the University of Chicago, to veterans, homeless people, seniors, and families. We had a call with over 100 ministers, again, several days ago, to encourage them not to congregate. Today marks the 4th day since we started the important work of COVID-19 testing at Maria Saucedo School. And this will be the 2nd day of testing here at Jorge Prieto. CORE and our neighborhood partners have administered over 800 tests last week, as the mayor mentioned. Each site is building capacity with pre-registration to test between 600 and 1,000 people a day. This week, we opened 2, potentially 3 more sites. Getting these sites up and running efficiently is truly a community effort. We are working with dozens of churches, pastors, community leaders, influencers, civic groups, and civil rights organizations to staff these sites. The people working on these sites are brave and dedicated. Those working on these sites play a critical role in controlling the disease and reopening our businesses. They are doing the hard work for the city to meet its metrics, and we thank you. I'd like to recognize the extraordinary efforts of Jolene Lozano and her family from Healthyhood Chicago, as well as Reverend Jeanette Wilson from the Rainbow Push Coalition. In many ways, each of us is on the front lines. This disease is indiscriminately affecting all of our lives in its effect on our businesses, families, and friendships. In other ways, it is very discriminating in its effect on poor people, blacks, Latinos, immigrants, the elderly, and people with pre-existing health conditions. Some of us are donating to charities, others of us are supporting local businesses, and still others of us have time and expertise to offer. Some are being personally responsible and simply staying at home. And now there's another element to personal responsibility. We must take advantage of the opportunity to test. Testing is the first important component of contact tracing. The sites have the capacity. Now please come and do your part. Sign up in advance or drop by, drive up or walk up, get tested. The test is administered free to you, whether you have symptoms or are asymptomatic. Please come.